Welcome to Newspresso. Here is the top story in the past 6 hours. Carl Bushby has been making his way home. He had to hunt for food. He had to cross the treacherous Darien Gap. He had to travel between Colombia and Panama. He carried on with a stubborn determination. He would carry him across continents. He would enter a future. It would test his patience, in ways he had never imagined. In the early days of the Goliath expedition, the world was a much quieter place. Bushby packed a cheap Instamatic camera. He also carried 3mm film. Bushby had a sense of adventure. He set out from Chile. His only goal was survival. When Bushby first stepped onto the road, in the rain-soaked streets of northwest Hungary, he was already at the end of the line. He had crossed the Bering Strait on foot in 2006. He swam across the Caspian Sea in 20. He pushed a cart full of his tent and gear. He pushed it through muddy cycle paths. They stretched across the Arctic and deserts. They seemed to stretch forever. The monotony of dunes and the cold of tundra can be mind-bending. The Arctic feels like it's trying to kill you. All the time, Bushby said, and yet he kept walking. Each step was a tiny rebellion against delays. That had plagued his journey. Financial crisis, pandemic, borders, visa restrictions. They forced him to pause or reroute. The world itself shifted. Bushby's biggest shift was social media. He resisted TikTok and Instagram. Back in the day, there was no social media, so there was no reason to take images. He told readers. Now, a live audience watches every step. The pressure to document every grain of sand, every sunrise, every struggle has become an added layer that he must juggle while still focusing on the physical demands of his expedition. He says that while this visibility forces him to be transparent, it also gives him a platform he can use when he finally returns home. When he finally crosses into Hungary and into the UK, he will need to start a new chapter of challenges. The best way to deal with finishing something like this is to start something new that's very challenging and get busy as quickly as possible, he said. His new passion, he says, is science literacy and engagement. He wants to bring the stories of his travels, the resilience he developed, and the realities of climate change to a wider audience. With the world now more connected, he sees an opportunity to use the very social media he once avoided to inspire and educate. Now, at the tail end of his Goliath expedition, Bushby looks forward to stepping off the road and into a future where his experience can spark curiosity and change. The journey may be ending, but his story is just beginning. Subscribe Newspresso. Never miss a major global headline.